Hi, this is Sasha from iChongqing. Today we are at the Sino Techno Park in Liangjiang New Area to explore this incubation center for the technology innovation. Our interviewee will be Mr. Dominic Whitmer, the director of Swiss Chamber of China in Chongqing. First of all, can you introduce yourself and the Sino-Swiss Techno Park to us?
Yes, of course. Maybe I give you first a short introduction of myself. So I'm from Switzerland, 45 years old, married with a wife from Chongqing, and together we have 2 kids. My educational background, I have a master's degree in project management, and since my wife studied hotel management in Switzerland, the 2 of us were invited by the owner of Funshare to come to Chongqing 12 years ago for the planning and pre-opening of a hotel. This was Funshare's first real estate project, and ever since we have accompanied the company with other real estate projects such as the Sino-Swiss Techno Park and also other international projects. So since 12 years, me, my wife and our 2 kids are living and working in Chongqing, and currently I work in the position as a Director of Foreign Affairs at the Sino-Swiss Techno Park. At the same time, I'm also the Vice Chairman of the European Chamber of Commerce in Southwest China and the Southwest China representative of SwissCham, the Swiss Chamber of Commerce in China.
Good to hear.
Now, you also asked me to say something about the Sino-Swiss Techno Park. First, I think it's quite a different project compared to other industrial parks in China. It is a 100% private investment, and second, it doesn't have the main focus on inbound investments from large foreign companies, but on identifying outbound investment opportunities in small and medium-sized companies from abroad. It is basically a platform which brings together foreign SMEs and startups in the high-tech sectors with Chinese strategic partners and investors.
Okay. So may I ask, what does the Sino-Swiss Techno Park aim to do? What's its goal?
So the Sino-Swiss Techno Park as a platform builds sustainable and strategic partnerships between foreign SMEs and local Chinese companies. The aim is to bring new advanced technology to the Chinese market. It is a win situation for all stakeholders involved. The foreign SMEs get market access to China's huge market, and the Chinese partners get access to advanced technologies from Switzerland. And the government gets new, more innovation-focused investments to Chongqing.
Why does it chosen to be located at Chongqing, Liangjiang New Area?
Well, we originally bought the lands in the Liangjiang New Area 10 years ago. The original plan was to relocate one of our factories. But as the area around Zhahushan has developed very fast, it's not anymore possible to build a factory there. Therefore, we came up with a new project for this land, the Sino-Swiss Techno Park, which fits very well in the current environment. But even if we would have to decide from scratch where to put the Sino-Swiss Techno Park, we most probably would go for the Liangjiang New Area. We have always had very successful cooperation with the authorities there, and the Liangjiang New Area is the core area for economic growth in Chongqing. Companies in our park can benefit special policies because the Liangjiang New Area is China's third national level development zone after Pudong in Shanghai and Binhai in Tianjin. And it also has very important logistic infrastructure, such as the region's largest international airport, inland China's only bonded port, and a direct railway connection to Europe. And this encourages and enables international business activities for all the companies that choose to develop in our park.
So what's your goal or plan for the Sino-Swiss Techno Park this year? Or any major movement of the cooperation between China and Swiss, especially Chongqing?
Yeah, well, this year for the third time in a row, we will bring 30 high-tech companies to Chongqing to participate in the Sino-Swiss Business Incubation Competition in our park. And for the first time, we will also bring all of the 30 companies to the Smart China Expo and offer them a booth at the Swiss Pavilion. We organized the Sino-Swiss Business Incubation Competition together with the government of the Liangjiang New Area, the government of the canton of Zurich, the Swiss Consulate General in Chengdu, and the Swiss Chamber of Commerce, and other strategic partners in Switzerland and in Chongqing. At the Smart China Expo, all Swiss companies will meet with potential strategic partners and investors from Chongqing in the form of pre-arranged B2B meetings. We are very confident that this will result in at least 10 new promising cooperation between Swiss high-tech companies and local Chinese companies to be established in our park.
That sounds great. And how's the resumption of work a situation in Sino-Swiss Park, especially you are in Swiss right now? And does the Techno Park experience any difficulties during this period?
Well, yes, of course, we are also experiencing difficulties during the pandemic. After all, we work with companies, and when these companies are facing difficulties, this automatically also affects us as an investor as well as a matchmaking platform. On the other hand, the park as a service provider was able to continuously provide high-quality work throughout the pandemic with our home office system. So even though we all worked from our homes, we were still able to achieve all our goals for the first quarter of this year. Of course, we always prefer to have face-to-face meetings internally as well as towards partners and customers. But in today's digitalized world, we were able to continue our work from home as efficient as it would have been when we are in our office. So over the past 2 months, for example, we have identified and contacted several hundred companies in Switzerland and were able to shortlist 70 of them as potential participants for our competition and the Smart China Expo 2020.
Okay. So, what's the current situation of the business interaction and the cooperation between China and Swiss? Are there any beneficial policies by the local government in Chongqing and also in Swiss as well?
Well, economic and political relations between Switzerland and China have always been very good. Switzerland was one of the first countries in the world to recognize the People's Republic of China. And this year we are celebrating 70 years of successful diplomatic relations between the two countries. And this successful cooperation between Switzerland and China in general, I believe, has a lot to do with the fact that the strengths of each of our two countries compensates perfectly for each other's weakness. China is about to become the largest consumer market in the world, and Switzerland has been the most innovative country in the world for 9 consecutive years. Switzerland is becoming more and more an innovation center for companies all around the world, including China. And China's huge consumer market is the perfect match to large-scale commercialization of innovations done in Switzerland. Regarding policies, Switzerland just started a new corporate tax policy in Switzerland, which further supports innovation in Switzerland by making all innovation-related activities deductible from company taxes. Therefore, I hope more and more Chinese companies will use Switzerland to source new technologies and innovation, whereas more and more Swiss companies will be able to sell their high-tech products and services in the Chinese market with the support of preferential policies from the Chinese government.
So you are the expat live in Chongqing, right?
Yes.
So can you talk a little about your life in Chongqing? How do you like this city as a foreigner living in Chongqing?
Well, yeah, so during the last 12 years I was able to spend about an average of 8 months per year in Chongqing together with my family, and the other 4 months I was abroad, mainly in Switzerland, on business trips and also on holiday. But I spent most of my time during the last 12 years as an expat in Chongqing. And yeah, we are very, very happy with our life in the city. I think Chongqing has built up amazing infrastructure to facilitate life as a private person in Chongqing, but also to do business in Chongqing. So we have very good high-speed trains, highways, a very nice new airport, and also, as I mentioned, even a direct train connection to Germany. What we love in Chongqing is certainly the hospitality of the people. I can say I've never been to a place where the people are so friendly towards foreigners and so welcome and warm-hearted. So we really appreciate the people in Chongqing, and of course also the great food, the great spicy food. We regularly have a nice hot pot together with our family and really enjoy that. We also feel very safe in Chongqing. Everything is taken care of for us. We have now a great new international hospital, Raffles Hospital, and we also are able to benefit of very good international schools for our children. Our 2 children go to the KL International School. So yeah, also when it comes to healthcare and education, Chongqing provides very, very good services to foreigners living here.
So, how is the epidemic in Swiss now? Are you safe, or you have any concerns right now?
Well, I think I feel safe. I mean, the government has issued now an emergency situation, but this is mainly to make sure that people who are really at high risk from this virus, means mainly people of older age or with other health issues, that the government is able to provide enough healthcare facilities for the risk groups. So Switzerland is trying to make the pandemic grow slower, so that there is always enough capacity from the hospitals to take care of the people who really need to be taken care of. And so far this is going very well. The people in Switzerland are cooperating and trying to keep social distance to decrease the speed that this virus spreads here in Switzerland. We cannot stop the spread, but we believe if we can keep it at a low growth level, that everything will turn out fine during maybe within 2 to 3 months.
Okay. So, when will be your plan back to Chongqing to continue your work here?
Well, it's very difficult to make plans because the situation almost changes every day, as travel restrictions and then also immigration procedures. At the moment, there's still quite a lot of things I have to do that I can do here from Switzerland. I'm in daily contact with my colleagues in China, so there is no urgent need for me to go back. And I will see as soon as the travel opportunities are increasing and maybe also the immigration process gets easier, then we will go back together with my family to Chongqing. I expect this to be maybe earliest in 1 month and latest in 2 to 3 months.
Okay. Thank you. We're just like to hear from you soon in the August, I think, in the Smart China Expo.
Yes, I really hope this will take place, and we've already communicated with the potential participants that it might be postponed, but that's no problem. We are very flexible. So if we have to postpone the event will take place for sure, hopefully at the end of August, and if necessary, of course, we put safety as the top priority. We will postpone it for a couple months, but we will still do the competition as planned under any circumstances.